We'll talk about something very, very, very exciting titled How to Build a Mega Team. How to build a mega team. Whatever business you're doing, this will help you to build a mega team. We'll look at this team. We probably can't finish all of the ideas here today, but you need to learn how to build a mega team. I'd like to introduce myself. I just realized that after teaching you all these maybe I've taught the largest number of times, or the highest number of times. I have not introduced myself. Let me just quickly introduce myself to you. Some of you want to meet me. Some of you have been asking me, private chatting me, oh, doctor, I want to meet you. I want to have a relation. I want to have contact with you. I want you to be my team. I want you to guide me. Some of you even share your opportunities, your business opportunities, which is fantastic. I'm excited about it. But right now, I'm concentrated on eCooperative. Like as you can see, I'm fully involved in eCooperative. And I want to succeed in eCooperative. I don't jump. I taught you that you don't jump from place to place. I like to see it through and then know how it goes. So my name is George Asian. That is exactly how I look. I'm good looking, ain't I? All right, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. Now, when I mean serial entrepreneur, I'm not those guys that just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm a speaker, professional speaker. Of course, I'm a professional speaker, but I'm a serial entrepreneur. What that simply means is that I have businesses that I run with locations and I pay rents and I have people who earn salary every month. Okay, so that's my office there, somewhere in the south of Nigeria. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I run a number of businesses. I'd like to show you some of those businesses, including a photography studio. I have a photography studio to my own name. I'm also a publisher of books. I've written a number of books and materials, including, especially around public speaking, persuasion, how to succeed in network marketing. I've written books. I've written on sales. I've written audio materials, and I've sold thousands upon thousands of copies, some in the millions. I've been privileged to use the internet to make money from selling information. I've sold quite a bit of information around. I've sold a lot of information. So many books, many ebooks, so many audios. My materials are practically on the internet. I understood the internet and I've used it to sell my hard copies and my soft copies. I've also been privileged to run businesses. I have a literal business like a printing press. I told you about it, where we print and publish. We also have a multimedia studio where we produce jingles, we produce audio jingles, video jingles, all kinds of things that has to do with production, video editing, audio editing, studio recording. Some of the audio recordings I do is done in my private studio, but also I allow it to be commercial. I help people who want to do something similar there. So that's me, my studio, and that's also the printing press. All right. So I've also been a television personality for a while. I do a lot of television. I share a lot of ideas on success, business. I've been doing it for a number of years. In fact, I was on television for close to 10 years locally, talking on business development. And that's me. Of course, I've left television now. I even used to do radio at some point, but today I do more of social media and the internet, because I think that the internet is more powerful and has more reaching effect than even TV. So I had a stint with television for more than 9 years. From 2008 to 2017, I was every Thursday on TV, local television, by the way. That local television is now a satellite TV, showing and sharing things on business, on the ideas I've been sharing with you. I did that for a while. Okay, so I also run a public speaking school. The public speaking school is called Podium Dynamics Academy. I say it is Nigeria's leading public speaking school. So what we do is that we help speakers to make their speeches meaningful. All right, so I've trained close to, this year alone, we have done close to 200 people. They come to our center. We have a center where we teach them. That's the center there. And we have other faculty members who come teach people how to speak better, whether they're politicians, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they want to speak for profits, they want to pitch before investors, whatever skill. Most likely you realize that in business, you need to learn how to express yourself. And some people suffer from glossophobia, or in what we call stage fright. We help them overcome stage fright, develop confidence, deliver better their presentations. Okay, so I run a public speaking school that runs every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I've been running for more than 6 years. All right, and that's our location there. Okay, so I take it big, really big. So I have billboards around my city, where I place adverts on teaching executives, people who are busy, working class people, even multi-level marketers, how to speak better, because communication is very important. If you're going to succeed in business, you need to learn how to communicate. Even in leadership, you need to learn how to communicate. In building your team, you need to learn how to communicate. So my core strength is on executive public speaking, on public speaking. Now, when I started off, I've always been passionate about business. I've always been passionate about training, business, investment, and all of that. But when I go to speak in different places, at the end of the meetings, people come to me and say, George, I like the way you speak. Can you teach me how to speak like you? And I'm like, whoa, I just thought to business. And they kept asking, and that forced me to create a curriculum some 6 years ago along the lines of communication. Today, we have a very robust curriculum that helps people to speak. We have probably one of the best curriculums on public speaking in Nigeria, and I'm not mincing words. Very thorough, very exhaustive, very exciting, very detailed. We've done a lot of work in that regard, even though I'm still very passionate. So even though I run a public speaking school, I still run businesses, traditional businesses. I have offline businesses. I have online business. We have people around the world, yes, that work with us. Some work for us and earn monthly salary. Some work with us on a monthly basis. So I'm also a trainer. Most of you don't know that. I train. These are just few pictures of trainings. I've trained top organizations, their sales team, the executive people. The first picture there is a picture of me training some NGOs, recently. I've trained top organizations. I've even trained top multi-level marketing companies. They've invited me to speak and train their staff, train their members, leaders. I don't want to mention companies, network marketing companies that have invited me to train, and they pay me very heavily to do that. Very, very heavily. I've been privileged to work with DHL, work and train for them. I've First Bank, Fidelity Bank. I've done stuff with Rochas Foundation. I've done that other place there that looks like a container. I've done training for oil servicing companies in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, practically done trainings. Microfinance banks. I've been involved in all kinds of trainings. I'm also married to a beautiful lady. I call her Fanta. I also call her Ufan. She's my friend for a number of years. We were married, so we work together. And I also have 3 lovely children, Nora, Mitchell, and George Jr. That's our family there. So that's pretty much a little about me, but most importantly, I'm a member of eCooperative. Now, why did I choose to add this? Because you see, I have a number of businesses I do, and there are plenty. I have investment in crypto, I have investment in Forex, I have investment in a number of things. In traditional businesses, I pay salaries every month. And I often tell people, I say, look, but I made a lot much money from the internet. So I believe so much in the internet. So when I saw ecooperative.africa, I said, look, I'm going to embrace this and embrace it fully. So I'm a member of eCooperative, and I'll tell you why. So that said, I want to help you today, show you something very valuable that will turn your business around. Whether you do eCooperative or you don't do eCooperative, the knowledge you will learn today would blow your mind. And trust me, you have never learned anything like this in this level, in this magnitude. I'm not going to go very detailed at some point, but I'm going to show you things that I teach top organizations. When I go to teach First Bank, Fidelity, these are some of the detailed information I share with them about building teams. Let me lay a certain foundation about how to turn ordinary people to an extraordinary team. Most of you right now have problems with your people. I don't know why I got this person into my team. Oh, he's not working. What kind of thing is this? By the time you're done with this training, you get to know why people behave the way they behave, why you're not able to build a solid team, and how and what you can do to start building a solid team, a mega team. You can take these ideas and apply it to practically anything, including running a ministry, running a church, running an organization. These ideas will truly help you. So let's begin. I'd like to begin with a few quotes that if I were you, I would take down. I'll either do a screenshot of them or I will write it down so that I can have them documented. The first one is by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan says that talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championship. So a game, you can be very talented to win a game, but it takes more than just talent to win a championship, to go the long haul, to win the league. That's what he's trying to say here. And that is quite vital. Let's look at another very important quote by Henry Ford. Most of you have heard Henry Ford quoted. Henry Ford. Who was this man, Henry Ford? Henry Ford was a man who democratized the production of cars. He mass-produced cars. The time in the 1900s when cars was the exclusive reserve of rich people. But this man decided to make Model T cars available to everyone. And he did, in fact, against his directors, but he did it. And today we all drive cars because of this man. This man allowed the common man to drive cars. And look what he said about teamwork, about working together. He said, coming together is the beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. He said, coming together is the beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. It was the same man that said that failure is the opportunity to begin again intelligently. At the age of 40, he was considered a failure, and he became a millionaire at the age of 50. So I don't care how old you are, you can start. And there was a time he was in second industrial revolution. It was in the era when there were no activities or no opportunities or facilities like we have today. But he did succeed because he had certain philosophies going well with him. Let's talk about Henry Keller. Henry Keller, an amazing poet and writer. And she said something very beautiful. He said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Alone you can do so little, but together we can do so much. So there's this thing about us collaborating. In the fourth industrial revolution, in this age, in this season of our lives, we must understand and appreciate the power of collaboration, of working together as a team. Let's talk about what Steve Jobs said about teamwork, about building a team, about team building. And look at what Steve Jobs, you know who Steve Jobs is? Steve Jobs was the co-founder, because he's late, he was the co-founder of Apple computers. Apple, everything Apple, okay? Two people founded Apple, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. For those of you who have attended some of my classes, have explained what the role they played. The two of them, partners, they came together, formed this formidable team, formed strategic alliances, and they took the business to the next level. So great things in business are never done by one person. Even in your ecooperative business, in whatever business you want to do, great things are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. And this is something that you must screw into your consciousness, screw into your brain, that any great thing that was ever achieved, was worked by a team of people. And that means you need to learn how to work with teams. Thank you, Steve Jobs, for the knowledge you shared. Now look at what John C. Maxwell, for those of you who don't know John C. Maxwell, I'd like you to get his books. When I started off teaching leadership and learning about leadership, I got every book on John C. Maxwell. I've read practically every written material of John C. Maxwell. John C. Maxwell is America's foremost leadership expert. He has written practically, when it comes to leadership, you call John C. Maxwell. You don't even call Dr. Miles Monroe. You call John C. Maxwell. He has more materials on leadership than any author in the world. He has more books on leadership. Last time I checked, about 60 books on leadership, on different areas of leadership, including developing the leader within you, developing the leader around you, the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, the 17 indispensable laws of teamwork, and many, many other books like that. So look what he said about teamwork. He said the truth is that teamwork is at the heart of great achievement. It's at the core of great achievement. I agree with you, sir. You're pretty much right. I don't know if you ever had this experience as a young person. When I was much younger, I grew up in Ikorodu, Lagos. Ikorodu is in the outskirts of Lagos. Right now, I hear it's bubbling. The last time I went to Ikorodu, that must have been last year when I got to Lagos, I noticed that the place was really bubbling. We used to have few schools, but right now we have more schools in Ikorodu. Ikorodu is really, really very vibrant, very, very vibrant, There was a time when we were in Kurodo, I could actually know almost everyone in the city, but now you can't know who is coming, who lives in the Kurodo. So many people, so many schools, so many stuff. So when we were much younger in the Kurodo, I'm talking about the early 80s down to the late 80s into the early 90s. We have these birds. They're actually called egrets. They're white, and then when they fly, every time they fly, as kids will come out and say, "Leke, leke, give me white finger. Leke, leke, give me white finger." We do that all the time. And as we do that, we notice that our fingers, like the finger you're seeing right now on your screen, will be stained with white. I still cannot figure out what used to happen. Every time we did it, we'd have white fingers. I don't know if you did it in your own area or whether you ever heard that experience, but we always had white fingers. So in recent times, I started studying those birds, and I realized that the birds are called egrets, E-G-R-E-T. And that's how they pretty much look. They fly in a very interesting formation, like the geese or the goose. The geese in plural, when they're more, the goose singular. They fly in a V formation, in a binary formation. Look how they fly. The goose and the egrets, this is a goose, a black species of goose or geese rather, they fly in a V formation. So you see the leader of the team, of the pack, honking, making some sound. And then the members of the team behind that leader also makes a sound. It simply means that there has to be a leader in a team, because it has to be the leader of the team gives the entire team's a sense of direction. So if you're in any team, you have to quickly identify who the leader is. And then after the leader, after the main person who is in front, who is honking, we have two other persons by the side of the leader, because they're going on a binary formation. Those two people are the supporting leaders. As the man honks, as the leader honks, boom, the supporting people also are honking. And that way they're giving the leader encouragement. So if you want to succeed in a team, one of the things you want to learn to do is to give support to your leader. Even if you know better than your leader, because you are in that team, you have to give him support. And that's how the support keeps going all the way to the back. And the interesting thing is that aside that, the leader is leading the way by flapping his wings. So he flaps his own wings, and then the assistants, the two of them by his side, are also flapping the wings, and on till the last person. Now, the scientists realize that because they flap their wings together, they conserve energy. And because they conserve energy, they can fly from Abuja to Lake Chad in one stretch. Now, people say that the eagle is the strongest bird. The eagle can go very high. Yes, the eagle can go very high. If you see a pilot is flying a plane and he sees a bird, the bird that he would most likely see is an eagle, because the eagle can go as high as 40,000 miles above sea level, just like the plane. The plane can go as high as 3,000 miles and sometimes higher, depending on if you're going international. So, but these eagles don't go that high, but they can go farther than the eagle can go. The eagle can go high, but the eagle cannot go in width, cannot move from where I'm located right now, Uyo to Lagos in one stretch. The eagle can't do that. The eagle flies alone, but the eagle doesn't fly alone. And because they don't fly alone, the geese too don't fly alone. They conserve energy and they can go stretch of miles. Look at them when they are in their numbers. When they're in the numbers, they can be very many, going in a V formation. And this is us telling us that if you're going to truly succeed in business and going to conserve energy and go farther, you need to understand and appreciate teamwork. All right. So alone, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with people. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with people. Teamwork is so important. Now, I've heard you say many times, and I've heard people say many times, that the lion is the king of the jungle. Now, first of all, the lion does not live in the jungle. The lion does not live in the jungle. Jungle is a thick forest. Lions don't live in jungles. Other animals, maybe elephants, even elephants don't even live in jungle. Who lives in the jungle? The lion lives in the savannah. So the lion should be said to be called the king of the savannah. Short grasses like this place you see in the screen. Now, the lion is a very fantastic, and a lion works with a group once in a while called pride, and they kill a lot of animals. True and said. But who kills the lion? Are there animals that kill the lions? Yes, there are a pack of wild dogs called hyenas. Hyenas don't walk alone. Of course, one hyena to a lion, the lion will take down the hyena any day, anytime. But trust me, if a pack of hyenas come together against, and that's how they attack lions, they can go after the lion, kill the lion, take out the head, and eat the lion. So one of the animals that has the courage to face lions, the king of the savannah, is actually the hyenas. And to do that, they go in packs. They walk in packs, and that's them. And that place you can see teamwork, and you can see bonding, and you can see people coming together is with the ants. I mean, for those of us who are Christians, we read scriptures where they say that go to the ants, you lazy person, you sluggard, and go and learn how to walk. The ants are amazing creatures. I did science. My first degree was in the sciences. And in science, you see something very interesting about the ants. It is said that if there's a nuclear blast in the world, if there's a nuclear blast in the world, and every man dies, the ants will still survive. For every human being in the world today, there are 11 ants. So if we have 7 billion people in the world, multiply 7 billion times 11. That's the number of ants that we have. Different species, different colors, different sizes. Ants that fly, ants that don't fly. And the ants are so organized. They have kings, they have queens that produce, they have soldiers, they have workers. They're so organized. And when ants want to operate and win, accomplish great tasks, they work together as a team. If ants want to invade your house, you cannot stop them. If they want to pass through your house, like soldier ants or fire ants, you cannot stop them. They have the capacity, the energy to work together and produce great results. I failed to place the pictures. Maybe next time I'll show you pictures of interesting molds that ants build. Those small creatures with tenacity and cooperation, working. They can do a lot. Look at what they're doing. They can fly even through air from one leaf to another leaf. Look at it here. They can literally move from one leaf to another leaf by gumming themselves, by working together as a team. They can do that, and they do that very regularly. All right, you see them, they can do all kinds of things just because of the power that is resident in unity, just because of the power that is resident in cooperation, just because of the power that is resident in synergy, coming together, working together as a team. Okay, so this is very important that you pay attention to. Look at them working, doing amazing things, literally flying through leaves, flying through air, because they work as a team. If you're going to do great things, like the quotes we have mentioned earlier, the heart of greatness, the heart of achievement is working together with a team. And that's why any team business is a massive business. Anybody that's told you not to build a team, not to have a network of people, not to have a community, not to have a group of people is telling you a lie. You've got to have not just groups, but convert those groups into teams. Because you see, it's one thing to have a group, it's another thing to have and build a team, a set of people that can work together with you. So I'd like to begin this presentation with a very striking quote. From the first time I heard that quote, it really struck a chord in my subconscious. It says, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. You see, a lot of you working are so selfish, so me-minded, so about you. Everything you're doing, even the financial freedom you're looking for is just about you. You think about yourself, you think about yourself, you think about yourself, think about your family, everything about you. That's the reason why you are struggling. That's the reason why you have been struggling. That's the reason why your journey is still very far. That's the reason why you're burning out. You don't understand the power and the leverage that comes with working with a team. Yes, it can be challenging. And I'm going to share with you what to do to overcome challenges. Maybe not today, maybe when we have another time. But you must understand and realize that one is too small a number to achieve greatness. You're going to achieve greatness, not local championship. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to start thinking me. You have to move your conversations, your talk, your communications, your interactions from me to we. Every time you speak, don't say I, say we. We keep train your conversation to mean we. Train your mind to think in terms of we instead of me. And that's the beginning of your progress. Get to find ways, find intelligent, persuasive, smart ways to get people to be involved in what you're doing, whether it's in your church, because as long as people keep thinking about just you, they will stay disconnected. There'll be no bond, there'll be no rapport, there'll be no unison, and you cannot achieve certain results. Try to impute in your conversation the concept we. So move from me to we. Even in your business, whether it is eCooperative you're doing or any other business, always use the conversation we and say it very, very regularly. So what is teamwork? What is teamwork? Teamwork is the process of working collaboratively with a group of people in order to achieve a goal. Teamwork is the process of working collaboratively with a group of people in order to achieve a goal. You see, Dr. Mike Murdoch said something striking. He said that success is about goals, about specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. Every other thing is commentary. Success in life is about goals. What do you want to achieve? What exactly do you want to achieve? Every other thing that we talk about is commentary. So teamwork is your ability to work with people in order to achieve a goal, usually a corporate goal, a goal that involves everybody, that benefits you and them. This is very important. Teamwork is often a crucial part of a business, as it's often necessary for colleagues to work well together, trying their best in any circumstance. Teamwork means that people will try to cooperate using their individual skills and providing constructive feedback despite any personal conflict between individuals. Now, that's why leadership, that's why I said we cannot be talking about teamwork and not talk about leadership. We cannot be talking about teamwork and not talk about leadership. So the first way to build a mega team is that you must define your leadership. You must define the leadership. Who is the leader in this space? Who is the leader in this space? There has to be the head, the man who is pushing. And the man should understand the mechanics and the dynamics of communication, how to put people together. All right, that's very important to share. Now, I just want to say this thing. There's a concept you need to understand. Why is teamwork so very, very important? It's because of this thing called synergy. Why is teamwork so important? Why must you work together in spite and despite differences in people? It's because when we work together, there is a power that is generated, and that power that is generated, that energy that is generated is called synergy. Now, for those of you who are Christian, I'm sure you've probably heard a story, the story about the Tower of Babel. Some people say it's a mythical story. Some people say it's a real story. It is said that man was trying to build a tower, and the tower, the intention of man was to, lift that tower to the heavens, and they were making progress. So the scripture says, according to the Bible, in Genesis chapter 6, I'm sure those of you who know the Bible, you know the scripture. Is it Genesis 6? Is it Genesis 6 or Genesis 11? I can't remember the particular passage, but the scripture says that God came down, and he said that he made the conversation was this. I think it's Genesis 11:6. He said that the people is one. He didn't even say they are one. He said the people is one. And what now? This that they imagine to do cannot be restrained from them. These that they envision to do cannot be restrained from them. So it seems to me that deity was almost quote unquote afraid of the unity that man was exhibiting. He said they have one language and they have one purpose. Now, this that they are planning to do we cannot stop them because of unity. And so he said, let's scatter their language. Let's get the language. Let them speak different language. Let them say different. Let there be division. Because when you have different languages, you have division. You have double vision, and they will not fulfill this project. And that's exactly what happened. So when people come together in the spirit of harmony, the energy that is birthed from that unison is called synergy. I want you to pay attention to me. When people come together and agree to pursue a particular goal, to hit 4.6 million naira or to hit 100 million naira, when they come together in unity and agree in unison, the power that is generated is amazing. I'll give you some examples. When 2 or 3 persons come together and say, you know what, we have a particular problem, we want to solve this problem, and they sit down, they begin to think and discuss and talk, and they allow the ideas to flow. They don't interrupt the ideas, they allow the ideas to flow. Guess what happened? Another mind is formed. You didn't get that. When 3 human beings or 3 minds or 2 minds or more minds come together in the spirit of harmony, in the, and begin to share ideas, as they begin to share ideas, another mind, a separate alternative power mind is formed. This mind that is formed is distinct from the individual minds, and it is greater than each of those minds. This mind that is generated, this mind that appears, this mind that shows up is distinct from the other minds and is greater than them, is greater. So what happens is that when people come together in the spirit of harmony, another mind is formed, and they can now tap from the resources from that infinite or that infinite intelligence or that separate mind. I don't know if this is making sense at all to you. And for those of us who are scriptural people, Jesus was talking, he said, when 2 or 3 are gathered, I am there. So these 2 or 3 people that gather are not as powerful as the I am there. So the I am there is greater than them individually. Because they came together in the spirit of harmony in his name, it attracted that unison, that teamwork, that cooperation, that cooperative attracted a higher power. So unity attracts support, extra support. Unity attracts support. Unity attracts support. The energy that you access when you're united. So there was this competition that was done in America many years ago. They got horses to pull big, heavy ironclads of different pounds, So the first, after they did the exercise, the first horse was able to pull 5,000 pounds worth of iron. He was able to pull it. The second was able to pull 4,000 pounds of iron. So they gave the crown to the first horse. But the organizers came and said, you know what? Okay, so if the first was able to pull 5,000 pounds and the second was able to pull 4,000 pounds, what if we combine them together? How many pounds of ironclads would they be able to pull? Of course, this one pulled 5,000, this one pulled 4,000. Add the 2 together, you're going to get 9,000 naira. They were wrong. When the 2 animals came together in the spirit of harmony to pull the ironclads, they were able to pull 12,000 pounds of ironclads. Unity, synergy. Synergy is the extra power that is available to you when there is teamwork. You need to understand. So what is synergy? Synergy may be combined effort that more than the sum of the enhanced result of 2 working together in a cooperative interaction. So when you join a cooperative or you form a cooperative and you work in the true light of what cooperative is, you access resources, you access powers untold. You access powers untold. So you see things like 1 + 1 is not equals to 3. 1 + 1 is equals to 11. Synergy is the benefits derived from combining 2 or more elements so that the performance of the combination is higher than that of the sum of the individual elements. Synergy is the benefit derived from combining 2 or more elements so that the performance of the combination is higher than the sum of the individual elements. So when people come together, sorry, I'm using the Bible. For those of you that are not Christians, I must apologize because this is not supposed to, but again, maybe this will just help some people who are Christians to understand. And this is generally acceptable. That's why I talked about the trade fair exercise and a few other things that matters. But pay attention to this. This will help you very importantly. The portion is King Solomon of ancient Palestine said something striking in his Proverbs. Or is it Proverbs? Or yeah, I think in his Ecclesiastes, in his sermons. He said, one would chase 1,000. Was it him that said it, or was it Moses? One of these authors said it. One of these biblical authors said it. He said, one would chase 1,000. 2 will chase how many thousand? Not 2,000. 2 will chase 10,000. Was it Moses, David, or Solomon? One of those 3 men said it. So one will chase 1,000, 2 will chase 10,000, not 2,000. Because when one comes alone, he can achieve just as much. But when two people come together, they invoke the synergy, they invoke the energy that is resident in combined effort. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So when we talk about synergy, whenever we look at working together, synergy is generated. Partnership, synergy is generated. Collaboration, cooperative, combination, connection, joint effort, joint venture, co-action, whole combined effort, enhancement, interactions, co-action, harmony. These are terms that are associated with the philosophy of synergy. So we're looking for for something to write. Synergy is the energy generated from combined efforts, and it is very powerful. That's why you need to work with a team. The fourth law of relationship levels. Third is called the law of connection and network, and the fourth is called the law of synergy, the ability to combine, to collaborate, to cooperate with people, and to blend with them and to help them move to a particular goal. The ability to combine so that you can access extra power to achieve things you want to achieve is synergy, and it's a level of intelligence. Fighting with your team is not intelligence, it's not relationship intelligence. Working with a team, of finding creative ways to work with a team despite and in spite your differences is synergy, and that is relationship intelligence. You need to have it in life, in business, in NGO work, whatever it is you're doing, you need to experience synergy. Synergy will take you farther than your energy will take you to. Synergy will take you farther in life, in business, in your network marketing business, in whatever you're doing, than your own personal energy. You need to stop depending on your energy and start depending on synergy. You need to stop depending on your own energy and start depending on synergy. And that is what we're talking about today. So basically, when we want to form a team, what comes to mind? Because we're talking about how to build a mega thing. A few things need to come to mind when we're building a team. First thing is who? Team. A group of individuals who are dependent on one another to achieve a goal. So you cannot have 4 people in your team and you say they're on their own. No, they are dependent on you. You're forming a team of 4 that will multiply to 16, that will multiply to 64, that will multiply to 256. It is your responsibility as the progenitor, as a leader, to have a koinonia, a knowledge about all of them, and to find creative ways to work with them. To allow them to be on their own is not to be a leader, it's to be an achiever. And there's a limit to what you can achieve. You don't have the privilege of accessing synergy. You're only depending on your own energy. So the first thing is who. The next thing is what. What is the task? What is the goal? The team efforts to produce deliverables in order to achieve its common goal. What are the tasks you need to accomplish? That's very vital. And the next thing is how. Teamwork, the integration of behaviors, thoughts, and attitudes of team members as they collaborate to achieve a goal. So you look at who, you look at what, and you look at how. The who, the what, and the how of teaming. This is very important and vital in this business. This is recorded. Now, so how do you improve your teamwork? What are the 9 things to consider when you want to improve teamwork? Most of you don't know that this is very, very, very critical to your success in any organization. Even if you're working in the corporate circle, you need to pay attention to the knowledge here because it will help you to achieve results. You see some people in the corporate circle, they are getting more results because they know how to lead better. They know how to connect with people. They know how to play in a team. They know how to lead teams. They know how to build teams. They understand the group team dynamics are so important. So what are a few things that we need to consider when we're talking about teamwork and improving teamwork? Number 1, let me start with communication. Very vital. And that's one of the things we're going to do as we begin to wrap up our training, our 30 days acceleration, acceleration challenge. We'll look at communication. How do you effectively communicate? Another thing that you want to also think about is context. What's the context? What's the context? What's the surrounding environment? What's the surrounding environment? Every goal has a context. Another thing you want to consider is your composition. The composition means that the different kinds of people, I'm going to touch on it briefly today, how to quickly identify different kinds of people in your team, the composition of the people. Another thing you want to think about as you build a team is culture. You have to create a culture. You need to have certain traditions in your team. So in my own team, what I tell my people to do is don't talk to anybody about the business. Don't try to sign up anybody in the business. Invite them to come and hear first. Invite them to come to the training. Invite me to come to talk to them first. Let us have a group meeting, whether on Zoom, on WhatsApp, or physically, when they have had to make a decision. That is my own team's culture. That you, as a downline, you don't start talking about the business because we assume that you are not intelligent enough to explain the business. So let your upline, do the talking. As you see it modeled, as you see the upline answer questions again and again, you will get better, and then you'll be able to do it better. And then you also do the same thing to your downlines. Tell them, don't talk about the business. Don't invite people to join the business. Invite people to come and listen to me talk about the business first with you there. So that culture helps us to achieve better results. So that's our own culture. People have culture. You can create a culture that passes down from the head to the ground. Another thing that we also need to understand is coaching and leadership. Again, in a team, there has to be a very strong leadership, and probably teach about leadership before we wrap up this training, what leadership is all about and how, then also you need to understand conflict resolutions, because it will happen. And I don't know if there's time today, we'll look at conflict resolutions, personality clashes, how you handle that. Another thing that you must also fully appreciate is cooperation. What do you mean by cooperation? Cooperation simply means that synergy we are talking about. That synergy we're talking about that you can generate. You need to notice when there's a sync, when there's harmony, and to take advantage of it immediately. Then also we talk about the cognition, when you get to that point of understanding, and then coordination, where there is coordination, where there is delegation, everybody knows what he's doing. So these are the 9 areas to consider when you want to build a mega theme. You want to think about communication, you want to think about the context, you want to think about the composition of your team, you want to think about the culture that you're creating deliberately, you want to think about coaching and leadership. Everybody's coaching each other, we are sponsoring, we are helping each other. We need to think about conflict and tackling it immediately. We need to think about cooperation, how to take advantage of synergy available to us. We need to also have understanding, and then we need to have delegation done effectively. Now let me just begin to wrap up here, because this is where it becomes very interesting. So let's assume that you are a leader of a particular team. You signed up into eCooperative, and then you're a leader. Now, the first thing you want to do, aside them recognizing that you're the leader, is, okay, that's a different topic. I don't want to talk about leadership, because a few things you want to do, because there's positional leadership and there's permissional leadership. Positional leadership is that you've been a leader by position because of your rank, but doesn't mean that people have allowed you to be their leader indeed. So you need to move from positional to permissional leadership. Then you have to move from permissional leadership to productivity leadership, where because of the results you achieve, because of the competence that you have, they follow you. In the positional leadership, they're following you because of the rank you have. In permissional leadership, they're following you because you have built a connection with them. You are Mr. Nice Guy, you're trying to form rapport. But in productivity leadership, is because they're following you because of the result, the competence that you have. Then there's a higher level of leadership. It's called the people development leadership. That means that they are following you because of the kind of fellow leaders you have raised. I mean, this is there is a highest level of leadership called the personhood leadership. The personhood leadership is people are following you because of the philosophy, the legacy that you represent. They're following your philosophy. Like we are following Jesus. It's a philosophy. We don't see him. We don't have to see him. We just follow. So that's the highest level of leadership. But it begins to positional, it moves on to permissional, it moves on to productivity, it moves on to people development, then before it gets to personhood. So now that is away from, but so as a team leader, as a leader, what do you quickly do when you become a leader of a team? when you start signing up people, the first thing you want to do is that you must realize this, that leadership is your ability to effectively delegate. You want to identify different kinds of team members in your team, identify them quickly, and then match their abilities with responsibilities, match their talents with roles. This will apply for anything. When you're given a position in church, given a position in the mosque, given a position anywhere, the first thing you want to do as a leader is you want to first bond with them. Then the next thing is identify talents and abilities. Then combine it with responsibility. Identify talents and combine it with roles. You're forming a team. What can this one do? What can this one do? What can this one do? Or you combine with responsibilities. That is how to build a mega team. Because when you put a round peg in a round hole, you're going to get better results. All right? Don't just allow them to do the things then. So we're going to look at quickly the 4 basic kinds of people that you must quickly identify in your team that will help your team to achieve mega results. You must know who they are, and there's nothing wrong. The beautiful thing about this HOTS principle is that the HOTS shows you that people can have 1 or 2 traits. They can have the dominant traits and the recessive traits. So we call it HOTS. You'll put together a few guys, in management principle guys, and say, look, when you want to build a team, identify these 4 sets of people. So we say there are 4 sets of people, and we use animal metaphors to describe them. The first one, HOTS, what does it mean? The first one I call H stands for hair. Now, look at the hair. The hair looks like a rabbit's. It looks like a rabbit, right? It looks like a big rabbit. But the thing about the hair is that the hair is very fast. It is focused on solutions. It is very fast, very enthusiastic, very exciting. And there are people in your team, they are starters, good starters, very fast, very enthusiastic, very ideas oriented. They come up with a lot of ideas. These are a few things to do about them. They are ideas oriented. They are enthusiastic. They are intelligent. They are talented. They are expressive. The problem with these guys is that while they are excited, their excitement is long lived. Their enthusiasm is long lived. They want to move on to the next product. They want to move on to the next product. They are excited to join you in eCooperative, but because of the enthusiasm is not there, they're facing the challenges and the realities of building a team and building a business. They want the next one. They want to move to the next one. Oh, there's another one there. Oh, this one is better than this other one. They want to join, but they are very good in bringing ideas. If we come together as a team, they will bring strategies and solutions and ideas that will shock you. Whoa, they will tell, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. They are those kind of people, very solution driven, and we need them. They're called the creatives. Though they get easily bored, but they are called the creatives. They can ingest ideas in a project. They can make a dream come true. They can make a vision come true. You need them in your team, and you need to quickly identify who are the ideas, who are the ideas person in my team. The next set of people that you need to think about are the owl. O stands for owl. Owl is like a bird. I don't know, like a bird. I don't know if you know owl. Whether you have owl in your village, whether you have owl in your city, but owls are. But interesting about owls that owls are strange creatures. They are not as excited as the hares. They are more strategic. They take an idea and convert the idea to a plan. They take a plan and convert the idea to a strategy. They lay it down. They break it down. They look at things. They try to make ideas, free-flowing ideas into plans. So we can call them planners. I mean, the owl can turn his head round 160 degrees. We call them planners. They are strategic. They are methodical. They are traditional. They are managers. You need them. So you have a hare in the system. You also have an owl in the system. So who are the owls? Who are those managers? Who are those guys that can handle things? They're not so excited like the hare. They know how to settle down on ideas, think on paper, map out a strategy, roll out a plan over a period of time. You need them in your team. Are they there? Can you identify them? The next kind of people that you also need to have are turtles. Now, naturally, any team would have a turtle. Who are the turtles? The turtles are pragmatic and they're very critical. sometimes almost negative. They are fault finders. They are the ones that will poke holes. They will tell you, oh, this is what it is. They are there in the team. Are they supposed to be in a team? Yes. They are supposed to be in a team. Sometimes you may not like them, but they are there to help to make sure the team achieves the mega growth that you need. So these guys are fault finders. They're critical. They are very, very pragmatic. They'll poke holes in those beautiful ideas, poke holes in those goals. They'll bring to reality the unreality of your dreams, and you need them. Turtles in your team. Who are the turtles? Who are the very, very, very analytical people, very critical people? Who are they? Identify them quickly. The fault finders. And then, of course, we have the last set of people, and those are called the squirrels. So S stands for squirrel. The squirrels are interesting sets. They may not be very, very smart or very, very creative, or they may not be able to put out a plan. They may not be able to critique a project or critique a goal or critique a vision. But one thing they can do very well is they can follow through. They are not just starters like the hares, they are finishers. They know how to complete. They make good salespeople. They know how to convince, follow up on prospects and get through the prospect. They know how to go through things, finish things. They are finishers, they are executors, and they know how to play as a team. They are not always smart to come up with ideas. But when the hare comes up with an idea and the owl plants it very well, and the turtle pokes it, and they return it back to the hare to authenticate it, and the owl to authenticate it and bring it back to the turtle to verify that this is good enough, the squirrel will take that finished work and run to the end. So you want to identify who are the squirrels in our team. Who are the squirrels? So the HOTS is a powerful principle. So the first thing you want to do as a leader is identify quickly the H, the hares, the O, the owls, the T, the turtles, and the S, the squirrels in my team. Who are they? Where are they? Now, the beautiful thing about this trait is that you can have dominant and recessive one. We can have dominant. So you can have a hare and an owl. Hare is prominent, owl is less, HO. You can have owl and hare, OH. You can have hare and squirrel, HS. You can have squirrel and hare. You can have hare and turtle. That is, these ones are negative, hare and turtle. They have bright ideas, then they sabotage themselves. They cancel out the ideas by criticizing the idea, and they are just there. May you not be a hare and a turtle. They have turtle and hare, same thing. We have owl and turtle. They plan very well, then they sabotage themselves with their negative, critical ideas. We have turtle and owl. That is, they are critical, but they know how, very critical, but they also know how to plan. We have turtle and squirrel. They are negative, but if you give them their job, well, they'll finish it up. We have owl and squirrel. That is, these guys are fantastic. They can plan things and they can finish it. We have squirrel and hare, same thing. They can finish things and they're also very ideas oriented, though the ideas is resident. We have squirrel and owl. They can finish things and they are good planners. We have squirrel and turtle. They can finish things, but they are very, very critical. So you want to identify what is the prominent part in me and what is the recessive part in me. What is the prominent part in my team members, in the individual team members I'm working with, in the leaders I'm working with, and what's the recessive part? You need to sit down and document it on paper. And then you know, okay, so this is the ability of this one, this is the ability of that one, this is the ability of this one. Let us now match their abilities with responsibilities. So what we do when we have a project, when we have a goal, want to make XYZ amount of money, want to get this PV or that PV, we'll say, you know what, guys, okay, this is our corporate goal. I want to make this amount of money. You want to make this amount of money. So this is the total amount of money we want to make. How do we do it? Okay, I help person, give us ideas, brings ideas. Okay, plan it. Put out the plan. We're going to do this, do that. Then turtle criticize it. Turtle begins to poke holes on it, pokes holes on it. Oh, this is not good. This is okay. Ow, take it back. Hare, take it back. Look at it again. Hare comes with more solutions. Take it back to the owl. Re-strategizes until the turtle vets it and say, good to go. Once we now know we have a solid plan, a solid vision, everybody, especially the squirrel, will take it to the end. That's how to build a team. I've only showed you an aspect of team building. And that's why in your e-cooperative business, you have to build your business. Build it cooperative. Cooperative means we are exploiting the power of synergy. Africa needs to unite. Africa needs to come together and exploit the power of synergy. One of the things we don't do well is that we don't synergize, we don't form, we don't collaborate. We have too many strong leaders. We don't have strong institutions. Bill Clinton said that the problem with Africa and any nation is that the nations we need more strong institutions and not strong leaders. Leadership is good, but you see, it has its own limits. We need people to combine, collaborate, think along those lines. Think along those lines, and your journey will be far. You will make impact. Some people die, never heard of again in their life. Some people lead. And 100 years from today, would your bones be decaying in the ground, or will your legacy and the people you change and you learn and influence be making impact around the world? Would there be people like you? Would your stories be told and retold and retold about using a team like eCooperative to empower people financially, that they are able to do crazy things? Somebody told me something today that shocked my heart. He said that he joined my team in 2017. And we're building a certain network. And we built us, and they said that today he runs a school, a big school, a very massive school, and my children are in that school. He said that a large chunk of the money that he made so much money from that system that he was able to use that money. He told me today, we had lunch together. He used that money to start up the school. I was so shocked. I said, George, I have not told you before. Your children are now in my school. And I was shocked. I have my second daughter, my first son is in his school. I did not know that it was the money that we made. He said he would never forget it, that he made from working together in our business that has enabled him to start that business. So eCooperative Africa is an opportunity to raise funds. They say that if we work together, we can raise any funds. We can raise funds. We can raise funds. Cooperative has always been there. So it's cooperative online cooperative coming together. Osusu, Ajo, online. But now with a beautiful twist. Okay, the beautiful thing is that, okay, so if you don't want to do network marketing part of this business, on the 21st of this month, we're going to be having the e-commerce part. So you can save in cryptocurrency, you can also buy, and you can invest. Beautiful business opportunity, very beautiful business opportunity. Together we can achieve more. Amazing. Together we can move more. And in the process of us combining and doing stuff together, selling, saving, doing e-commerce, we can also be learning. For every level we move to, we can also be learning. There's learning opportunities there. So the cooperative is a brainchild of two organizations, a registered business and a foundation. All right. One is a web development organization, one is a training organization, the other is an empowerment organization. So these are the lineup of things that they do: savings, raising funds, investment, e-commerce, crowdfunding, e-learning. We're going to have an emergency meeting when the e-commerce launches out. I want all of you to make sure you're available so that we can have an emergency meeting. That will happen on the 20th. We'll have an emergency so we can all go in there and start selling our things on the platform. So please don't miss it. How do you join the business? eCooperative says, don't run a decentralized system. Don't give the money to the cooperative. Give your money to the first $2,000, the $2,000, to the $4 to somebody that's already in the system. And that person is called your sponsor. The person has a referral link. All right. And that's you there. What do you need to have to be in the part of this business? You need to have a phone number, you need to have an email address, and you need to have a bank account. And the marketing plan is work with a team of 4. Just invite 4 people, share and communicate the vision with them, get them to understand the concept. If you cannot share, get your team leader to share with them and work with them. These 4 people will replicate and help you raise the monies that you're looking for. All right. So how do you move with this business? So once you do that, this is how the business works, and that's you there. You're on level 0. When you get somebody's link, let's call that beautiful lady there Jane. Let's call the man above her Joe. Let's call the other person Kate, and let's call the last person Philip. All right. So what happens is that if you want to register, you have to get Jane's details, her referral link. She gives you the referral link, you register, and then you give her 2,000 to move to level 1. 2,000 once you pay 2,000. Send you information, ebooks, materials that are worth more than 2,000 naira amazing into your dashboard. Please, without joining us, I'd like you to mute your sound. All right. So you can now choose to say, all right, I want to work with my 4 persons. I've been told that I need to work with 4%. So you invite 4 persons with your referral link. Now, when they register, they will also give you 2,000 naira each. Now, the cooperative says that the 8,000 naira you're going to get from them, keep it. It is yours. You can choose to exit the program. If 8,000 naira was your goal, you can choose to exit the program and say, you know what? I want more. The way the system is designed not to allow your 4 persons to be stranded. So they will continue doing the business with or without you. But if you want more, then you go to your dashboard and click on upgrade. When you click on upgrade, Joe's details will appear, his account details appear, and you'll be told to give Joe 4,000 naira from the 8,000 naira you made. Now, because you're giving Joe 4,000 naira, you're going to receive quality information in your dashboard. Of course, you already have access to the e-commerce and the investment and all of that, but you're going to receive more information in your dashboard when you give 4,000 naira to Joe. And then you also activate your second generation downline earnings, so that when the 4 persons bring 16 people, okay, because the 4 persons will bring 16 people. When the 16 people want to move to level 2, just like you gave Joe 4,000 naira, day 2, when they want to move to level 2, we'll see your details, and each of them will give you 4,000 naira, amounting to 64,000 naira. They'll give you 4,000 naira in 16 places. Now, if that's your financial goal, you can exit the program. But if you want more, you click on upgrade, and then Kate's details will appear. You take 8,000 and give to Kate. 16 persons will bring 64 people. When the 64 people want to move to level 2 or level 3 rather, just like you gave Kate 8,000, they're going to give you 8,000 each. When you multiply 8,000 times 64%, you're going to have 512,000 naira. You want to move to the last stage, you click on upgrade. Philip's details will appear. You give Philip 16,000 naira. The 64 persons are going to invite 4 persons each, amounting to 256%. When they want to move to level 4, just like you gave Philip 16,000 naira, they would also see your details, and then they will give you 16,000 naira each, amounting to 4,096,000 naira. And of course, for that level, you receive materials on your dashboard, and you rank higher on the e-commerce platform. So let's look at your bank total amount of money earned. You earned 4.6 million, 4.680,000 naira. That's the total amount of money you earned from the 8,000, 64,000, 512,000, and 4,096,000 naira. You also upgraded. You gave Jane 2,000, Joe 4,000, Kate 8,000, Philip 16,000, amounting to 30,000 naira. When you subtract 30,000 naira from 4,680,000 naira, you have 4,650,000 naira. You only began with 2,000. So let's look at the dollar version for those who want to receive money, because you can actually do transactions in dollars. So for you to move to level 1, you give $4 to Jane. Okay, invite 4 persons. 4 persons will give you $16. All right, you upgrade to level 2. You take $8 and give to Joe. 4 persons to invite 16 persons. 16 persons want to move to level 2. They'll see your account details, and they'll each give you $8 each, amounting to $128. You take from there. Click on upgrade, give to Kate, give $16 to Kate. 16 persons will invite 4 persons each, amounting to 64 persons. When they want to move to level 3, just like you give $16 to Kate, they're going to see your details, and each of them will give you $1,024. All right, so you want to move to the next level, you click on upgrade. Okay, level 4, you give $32 to Philip. 64 persons will bring 4 persons each, amounting to 256 persons. When you want to move to level 4, just like you give $32 to Philip, they're also going to give you $32 each, amounting to about $8,000. If you total your stuff, the total amount of money you've earned is $9,168. That's the $16, the $128, the $1,024, the $8,000 amount to $9,168. Your upgrade cost is $60. That's the $8 you give to Jane, right? The $4 you gave to Jane, the $8 you gave to Joe, the $16 you gave to Kate, and the $32 you gave to Philip amounted to $60. Total amount of money is $9,108. You only began with $4. So you have to give 2,000 naira or $4 to the first person to receive 8,000. You have to give 4,000 naira to receive 64,000. You have to give 8,000 naira to receive 512,000 naira. You have to give 16,000 naira to your 4th generation upline to receive 4,096,000 naira. So you're working with the power of 4, 16, 64, and 256. A total of 340 downlines. 340 team members. You don't have to have all of them work. You don't have to bring all of them. You just need to work with your 4. Let them bring their own 4. Let those 4 people bring their own 4. And before you know it, you have 340 persons in your team. How are you paid your money? Your money is paid directly into your bank account, or into your Bitnut wallet. Now, let me know if I've made any sense at all today. Let me know if I made any sense at all today. Let me know if I made any sense at all today, or I was just talking to myself. Let me know if I made any sense at all today. Okay, Moses said the statement, Deuteronomy chapter 2 and verse 30. Did that make any sense? Did that make any sense? Did that make any sense?
Yes, you make a lot of sense. I really appreciate all your presentation. And please, I don't know if the recording is going to be available. I would like to have it. Thank you.
Did you come in late today?
No.
Okay, you said from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. So what one thing did you learn? What one thing touched you? What was the first thing that what is the thing that got across to you?
The thing that touched me was how I have learned on how I can be able to work with my team by being patient with them. You know, because in order for us to be successful, we have to work as a team, you know. You don't have to be like bossy or something like that. You have to put every other person at the same in order for you guys to